Hello everyone, this is George Packard with Family Lawn and Landscape again, and today I'm going to address a question that was asked to me about how do you stop losing customers in the lawn care business. It's got many components as to how you stop losing lawn care clients. One of the things I'll tell you is it's hard enough to get customers. This is a mistake that I made early on, and I'm sure everyone else has made too. When I first started my business, I started getting customers in, and as I got busier and busier, I didn't pay as much attention to the customers that I had, and I was paying more attention to growing the business and getting bigger. And in the end, the customers that I had initially were up here, and they just started to drop and drop and drop. It didn't get my attention until it got way down here. I was so concerned with getting new clients, that I wasn't paying attention to the ones that I already had. Now, it costs you money to get every single client. It costs you money because you have to advertise to get them, whether it's door hangers, flyers, postcards, mailers, street mailers, 10 rounds, door-to-door sales. Everything costs you money. Internet, everything you do costs you bucks to get done, okay? What I want to tell you, I guess good customers are even harder to find. Every customer has the potential to be a good customer, okay, if you can communicate well with them. I mean, not every customer is going to work out for you, okay? Just know that going in. I've had customers where I've just literally bent over backwards for to try and make happy, and there was just no way of making them happy. I've come to find out down the line from dealing with a lot of these clients that you have certain ones. There's certain signs that you'll see and be able to pick on when you're bidding these jobs. It's really a subject for another time, but I've seen different things that have happened with customers. Now I can look back and say, you know what, I knew I shouldn't have even signed on with this guy because I knew it was going to be trouble. But the only way you're going to know that is if you run into enough of these, and eventually it's going to stick out in your mind. But today we're going to focus on how to keep them, and especially good customers. Okay? They're hard to find, they're expensive to get. Once you get them, the last thing you want to do is lose them. Again, I made that mistake by concentrating on building my business and not keeping these people I had. I didn't keep my core group. I let them slide down because I wasn't paying attention to detail. I've turned that around now. I'm paying attention to detail. So now all my clients are staying right here, and what am I doing over here? I'm building this, continuing to build it. But I've got to keep that core people here. You've got to keep them happy. A lot of ways to do that. Number one, you hear it all the time, great customer service. You've got to get it through your head. You're a lawn care company. You need to know there's 5,000 other lawn care companies that are going to jump in and take your work from you. They're knocking on those doors every other day. They're getting a door hanger from somebody or a flyer or a postcard, especially during the peak selling months. You need to be on top of your game. You have to make certain that you're not losing these customers. Good customer care starts right there, making sure that you take care of them. Don't give them a reason to go with anybody else. Now we have clients that come, we used to have clients that come up and said, hey, these guys are offering us $45 a month or $55 a month, to mow our grass for us. And I would be astounded by this, and I would be like, well, I'm going to come down on my price. I'm going to match that. I don't want to lose you. Well, I've come to find out that you have to set your profit margin, and if you have to come down to $55 a month or some ridiculous figure like that, you're not making any money doing it, don't do it. Walk away from them. There's some customers you do need to walk away from. But again, the focus today is on how to keep them, okay? So good customer service right off the bat. Constantly communicate with them. And what I mean by that is knock on the door once in a while. Just say hi. Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're happy with how your lawn looks. Is there anything you can think of that we could do better? That means a world to these people. It really does. You're not bothering them at that point. You're like, boy, that guy is really concerned about our lawn. He is here and he does care. They want people to care. That's their investment. Their house is their investment. Do you know of anybody who wants a house that looks like crap, that their yard looks like crap, and all their neighbors have these really beautiful homes? No. Everybody wants to compete with the Joneses. They all want that beautiful yard. Not everybody is willing to spend the money to get that yard looking like that, but they want it the best that you can make it for them. Okay, so given your budget and whatever they're paying you for your service, go in there and do a good job for them. But at least if you communicate with them and say, hey, make suggestions. Make suggestions to them all the time. We do this all the time. And it's not so much to do with upselling products like a lot of guys talk to. Hey, let's sell them on mulching, let's sell them on fertilizing, pest control, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a place for that, okay? But that's not why we do it. We do it because we want them to know we're concerned about their lawn. We don't want them to come back to us when the heat of the summer kicks in and we know they've got sprinkler issues now. Excuse me. We want to fix those sprinkler issues right now, and we want to tell them, if we don't, your grass is going to continue to brown off, okay? We don't want that. We want you to have a beautiful lawn like everybody else in the neighborhood. That means something to people. And when you put it to them like that, a lot of times they'll spend the money and have you fix things, okay? So, but it's not about upselling. We're talking about how to keep customers and keep them happy so you don't lose them, okay? When you start pointing out things like, them dead palms need to be cut out of there, they're going to come down and smack somebody on the head, or, they're a mess, they're all over the lawn, and we really should do something with that tree. They may not do it right away, but eventually they will. But the bottom line is, they know you care about it because you're pointing out all these things. You're not just there to mow the grass and put your hand out for the check, okay? You don't want to be that kind of a guy. You want to be the guy that goes there and asks them, say, hey, your mulch is starting to look bad. If you ever want to remulch that, give us a call. We'd be happy to do it for you. That's all you have to say. You have to go in there and tell them, hey, I noticed a couple of your shrubs have died or are dying. I don't know if they're getting water, but you really should get that checked out and make sure the sprinklers are working good. It lets them know that you care about their property, okay? So once in a while, we'll do little extras for them. We'll come in there and we'll pull out some dead shrubs or weed some things or whatever, just little extras, things that take you 5 minutes. If you know they're there and they're watching you, and even if they're not there and watching you, they'll notice that those shrubs are gone. And you could just say to them, leave them a note on the door, hey, I pulled your shrubs, they were dead back there. If you need them replaced, just give us a call. Or any simple things, just little things like that, okay? It doesn't have to be anything catastrophic, okay? Let them know that they're important to you. A lot of times we'll knock on the doors and talk to our clients and just say, you know what, Mrs. Jones, I'm so thankful that you have us here. I'm so glad that you have us here and you kept our business with you because it means a lot to us. I'm able to feed my family and, word of mouth and everything. You tell your neighbors about us, and I just want you to know that I really, really appreciate that. The odds of that customer firing you, you could almost walk up and piss on their house and they wouldn't fire you, okay? Because you let them know they're important. They're someone, okay? And believe me when I tell you this, put it in your mind, just say, the first of this month, I'm going to ride in that truck and I am going to talk to every single client that's home and I'm going to tell them how much they mean to me. Or send them a little note. When you send them their invoice, put a little note in there, just thanking them, a handwritten note. Just and do it in handwriting. Don't type it out and all that stuff off the computer. It doesn't mean much. If you handwrite that note and you stick it in there because you couldn't catch them at home, or if you don't have the time to stop at home and talk to every one of these people, just put that in there because it's going to mean a world of difference to them. Then when the 10 guys come knocking on their door to try to steal your business, they're not so apt to go because they like you. They actually like you, okay? So you need to get your customers to like you, to trust you, to believe in you, okay? And you got to do a good job for them for all that to happen, okay? Let's see what else. You could even give them a phone call. Just give them a call when you get home in the evening or you couldn't catch them during the day. Just give them a call and just say, hey, I wanted to know if there's anything else that I could do for you or if there's anything we could improve on. It means a lot to people, okay? Don't skip them. This is one thing that's gotten us in trouble in the past, and I hope nobody gets in trouble by this. It's a bad habit, and I'm guilty of it myself. I used to get in the truck and I would drive around to some of the yards, like in the wintertime in Florida where you only mow them like every other week. I would go pull up to the lawn and I would look at it and I'd say, that doesn't look like it hardly grew, so I would just go down the road. Well, sure enough, they call a day later or 2 days later and they're like, hey, nobody came to cut our grass, what's going on? Well, that's a black eye to you, it's a strike against you. They're angry at you because of this. Now that's distrust that you just put in them just because you went on. Even though the grass didn't need it, they still need to know that you were there. And one thing that we incorporated that helps us is we have these little sticky notes, these little Post-it notes that we have printed up. And it just says on there that, we're sorry we missed you. We came and looked at your property. It appeared it didn't need to be mowed this week, but we'll be back in 2 weeks to take care of it again for you. Thanks very much, George Packard. And we would just leave it on the door. That stopped 99% of the calls. So you could still pull up to the jobs, you could still look at the jobs, and if they truly didn't need it and you knew you weren't going to be cutting anything off or doing anything, even then try and do a little something. Go trim the hedges, go run an edger around things. Do a little something if you can. And just leave that sticky note. If you don't do anything, leave the sticky note on the side. At least they know you were there. You looked at the lawn. Hey, he's watching the lawn. He was here. I'm not so upset. Okay? So keep that in mind. Again, always recommending improvements is big. The other thing, when they do call you with your concerns, I used to be guilty of this too. I wouldn't call them back right away because I was too busy focusing on new work, new things. I didn't want to deal with complaints. Okay? That was a big mistake. That cost me customers. That should never have happened, and it's not going to happen anymore. Okay? Get that through your mind right now. When that complaint comes in, that customer was hard to get to begin with. Okay? It cost you money to get him. That's an investment. That client is an investment. That'd be like me buying one of these motorcycles, and then I come out here and I never polish it or I don't change the oil or anything. It's an investment, and I'm just going to let it go to hell because I don't care. I'm busy doing all these other things. Meanwhile, if you don't answer that call and you're not concerned about her concern, and her concern needs to take precedence over yours, they're going to leave you. You create distrust, and when you create distrust, they're going to leave you. Okay? It's like strike one. If you call them back right away and you say, Mrs. Jones, I apologize for that. I'm sorry. We'll do a better job next week, I promise. We'll pay attention to detail. We'll make sure we get it right for you because we want you to be happy. Your business is extremely important to us. So we're going to do everything we can to make this right. Okay? So hopefully those tips have helped you out. If you need other tips, any suggestions, you can feel free to call me. You can email me or go to our website, familylawnandlandscape.com. There's a lot of other videos there or on the YouTube channel. And hopefully that helps, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.